and whoever else didn't want this to happen. You didn't let anything hold you back, and you made a statement that people received you warmly. And even though this needs to be done on another level, and that's to be talked about and addressed in another time, in another space, and some other meetings. But let me say on this issue that we cannot talk about the question of reparations without including in this conversation in a non-negotiable way the release of our political prisoners and our prisoners of war. Now, you understand what I'm saying? Those who paid a serious price to get us this far, as one of the preconditions of giving us these reparations in the interest of justice, our freedom fighters got to be let go. And they've been locked up for a long time. We just saw Debbie Africa come home after 40 years. We know about children being separated from their parents. Michael was pregnant. Debbie was pregnant with Michael when they snatched him up back in 1978. Y'all heard what half of y'all weren't even born in 1978. But those of us that were, we remember, don't we, Roger? We remember 1978. Remember how they dragged Delbert out and beat him to a pulp. And you thought Rodney King was bad. All of that was on national TV. And then they locked them up for surviving that police terror. No, we cannot talk about this issue without talking about our freedom fighters. And right here in New Jersey, the state that didn't want to give you the 13th and 14th and 15th Amendment, the state that didn't support stinking Lincoln, the state that was the last to end slavery up south. Yeah, this is where you at. This gangster racist state. In this state, on this issue, we get ready to turn it up for the release of Sundiata Acoli. Y'all hear what I said? We get ready to turn it up for the release of Sundiata Acoli after 45 years in prison. The time has come for Sundiata and his comrades to come home. All power to the people. All power to the people. All power to the people. Roger, I want you to come back for a second, because you're wearing something that brings back some memories that is going to help us on this work. Now, y'all heard from this black. In fact, he's going to be with us Wednesday at the Newark Public Library in a strong talk on police brutality and police accountability. Y'all see what he's wearing? I'm going to tell you what he's wearing. Many years ago, we were in a serious fight to save the Autobahn and have that turned into a historical landmark in Harlem, where Malcolm organized first and where he was ultimately assassinated. We were up against a bootlicking, buck-dancing Negro mayor, yes, that's what he was, right, who was going to sell the Autobahn to Columbia University for $1. And Columbia was the worst landlord at that time. So what I'm saying, and why I'm bringing this out, in this question, some of y'all think we done made it because we done had Obama. You know, we ain't going to talk about his dirt, right? But we haven't made it, and Trump let you know that we haven't made it. We are also going to have to turn our people around on this issue like we turned them around on that issue. So just because everybody don't understand this, that don't mean we ain't going to make it plain. Just because everybody who look like this don't get it, that don't mean we ain't going to make it plain. Just because some of your leaders, some of these folks who still voting for these new buck dancing and bootlickers ain't coming out the way they should, we gonna make it plain until they do. Do y'all understand that? You gotta understand that. So with that, I'll leave as I came. We call for the release of our freedom fighters as a precondition, as a necessary parcel of this whole question of reparations. What do we want? Reparations. When do we want them? What do we want? Reparations. When do we want them? What do we want? Reparations. When do we want them? Free all political prisoners. Free all political prisoners. Free all political prisoners. Free all political prisoners. What's the call? 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 All power to the people. We'll see you in the world. Brother Zaid, big hand. Sister Lisa Davis, come say a word for the Black is Back Coalition.
I'll be glad to say them.
All right. Jimmy, wait to get to the back. Go ahead.
Glad to see us out on this day. It was interesting. Last year, I remember when we had our reparations demonstration, the weather had announced that it was going to be raining, it was going to be pouring, thundering and lightning. Makes me wonder sometimes if they're going to have fake news reports whenever they hear about marches for reparations. It did not rain today, but even if it had of, we were going to be out here anyway, because oppression never takes a holiday. It doesn't take a break. 24/7, 365 days of the year, whether you're sleeping, rain, snow, or shine, crimes against humanity continue, with the U.S. being one of the major ones committing the most crimes. And I represent my black face on this stolen land, represents one of the biggest crimes against humanity. But we know there are so many others, like the indigenous people who own this land. It's their land. Just because your ancestors may have stolen it and occupied it illegally doesn't make it your land. So I just want to say this, and on behalf of the Black is Back Coalition, of which I'm the vice chair, we definitely support the demands for reparations. And I'm also glad to see a diverse crowd here today. Took a moment to get any kind of diversity on this issue, but we are not stopping, because it is a right and a just issue. And we had some literature, I don't know if it all got passed out, because we always hear that, you know, the myth is that, oh my gosh, the European ancestors, they just came here with $5 in their pocket and they worked so hard and they built up the land. And many of us think, why can't we do it too? Well, we need to understand how things are socially and politically engineered so that we will have the exact results that we are seeing today. And everybody sees this statue behind me. I like how Brother Zaid referred to him as Stinking Lincoln, but everybody sees this statue behind me. And most people think Abraham Lincoln, and they think, wow, the Emancipation Proclamation, which did not free anybody, but it was a call to African soldiers, African people, to unite in the war, and they wouldn't send them back without the help of the enslaved Africans. The North would have lost it. But there was a piece of legislation that he did pass, which turned out to be one of the most powerful pieces of legislation ever enacted, and that's one we don't hear much about. But that was the just went out of my head. Hold on one second, a moment. That was the Homestead Act of 1861, in which he basically said that if you're on this soil, anybody on any part of land or soil for 5 years or more gets to have it for nothing. Nothing. That didn't apply to black people. And of course we know the land was stolen from the indigenous people. There were so many acts like that that were enacted, giving the land away, saying if you come over here, you will have this land. We will set you up like the charters that England created for people to come over here to occupy this land. And we will see time and time again, from as soon as they set their, terrorist foot on this soil that they stole, right up into the present, things are put in place. Legislation is enacted to ensure that there will continue to be racial and economic disparity. But we need to know the truth, and we need to speak truth to power. So when we think about Abraham Lincoln, remember the Homestead Act that he passed, which basically helped to ensure that we were going to have the social economic disparities that we have today, because land was given, giveaways to the European settlers. Thank you so much. Reparations now continue to be about justice no matter what. Justice, reparations is a just cause. We also want reparations for the indigenous people of this land. It is their land. And one thing I got to say about the border, the these artificial borders that continue to get created. It just makes me so angry when I think that all the concerns about the border is the southern border, but none with the northern border. And the truth of the matter is, it's not them, the issue is not them crossing the border, the issue is the border crossing them. It is their land. Thank you.
All right, Lisa. Give Lisa a big hand. I see the international workers. Y'all want to say something? Anybody want to say something? IWW? No? All right, Black Lives Matter. I saw some Black Lives Matter signs. Who's speaking for Black Lives Matter? John Burns. Come on, give him a hand. Give John a hand. Black